Welcome to the Wednesday Warrior Wrap-Up, where we take a look at some of the awesome news and reveals of this week. First up on the Wednesday Warrior Wrap-Up, we have a look at the Hasbro Pulse Seasons of Savings deals they're doing like they always do every year towards the holidays. And it looks like there's two offerings, one for non-premium members, which is 25% off, and one for premium members, which is 35% off. Now, there is something important to note. It does go from currently now to December 4th, but you also have to take a note that you have to put $75 worth of product or more in the cart for the coupons to work. So you're going to be putting $75 down to begin with, and then that 35% will kick in, or 25%. So I just want to make sure I let you guys know that, but there's quite a few things on sale. Every year I see this and I kind of get a little bummed because there's a lot of items that I pre-ordered and paid full price for that end up here. So every year I try to guess what I should hold off on because it might end up at this sale. I, for one, was really excited and surprised to see the G.I. Joe Classified Stinger was one of the items, so I was able to get 35% off of it, taking it from $100 to $65, which was an incredible offer, so I couldn't say no to that because it's one of the 6-inch scale big vehicles. So I just thought that was crazy. But then there was all kinds of other things on sale. Transformers, Ghostbusters, Marvel, Star Wars, everything they pretty much had. They had stuff for. There were some Marvel figures that I thought were really cool. Quite a few awesome offerings. So if you're looking to get some holiday gifts or just catch up in your collection on items you might have passed on or you were waiting on, now's your chance to get 35 or 25% off, which I believe 25% off is what most of Amazon's Hasbro products were on clearance already. And that was going for a little bit, and they went really fast because they were claim sales, which means they only do like a couple of them, and then afterwards they go back to the retail price or to the next seller. Whereas now is your chance to get 25% off, and if you're premium, 35%, which is really good. Getting your Marvel Legends figures back down to how they kind of were a while ago, or all your 6-inch figures. So just a really cool deal Hasbro's doing to kind of clear out inventory and stock for the next one, and just to have something fun this season. And continuing with the Gift the Galaxy weekly offerings every Tuesday from the Star Wars team at Hasbro. We have a look here at another 2-pack of the Clones of the Republic. We first got Mace Windu with one of his troopers and the purple armor. Then we got Yoda with Commander Gree and the green armor. And now we're getting Obi-Wan with his 212th clone trooper. And these are, of course, Black Series 6-inch figures. This is part of the Clones of the Republic Disney capsule, but they do have them on Pulse. I put the link down in the description down below, but it does look like it might have sold out already, but definitely check back towards the release date of it. I think it's in later on next year. But yeah, just a really cool offering they're doing. It's nice to see they're finally giving us clones, and they're giving us Jedi Generals with them, so that's really cool. I kind of like this idea, and it's kind of an awesome offering, but it is kind of hard to troop build if that's something you like to do. I, for one, have pretty much fallen off the troop building wagon when it comes to 6-inch figures because it's just really hard to collect that many clone troopers or that many of anything and put it on a shelf and have room for all your characters. But this is really cool. So yeah, I don't know if it went up on Disney yet. I didn't see anything about it, but it probably will go up. I know the Commander Gree and Yoda pack took a while. I think they let us pre-order them at Comic-Con in July, but then they didn't go up to Disney till like a week or two ago. So these will probably go up on Disney too. I'll probably put them on my Instagram story when they do. That way, if you miss them on Pulse, you have a chance to get them there. And in Mattel news, specifically Masters of the Universe, the Masters of the Universe Origin Sketch, Hordak and Guzlin, I don't know if I'm going to say that right, probably butchered it. This is an interesting thing. This is different than the cartoon line or the Origins line. It looks like we might be getting now a set of Motu figures that are going to be based off of the concept art that the artist made of the characters. So it's like a concept Hordak and a concept one of his minions, which is an interesting thing. I kind of am excited to see where this goes, because if you look at some of the work that the artist made of the characters beforehand, there's some really unique designs and art. So I'm excited to see where this goes. There's no information about pre-order dates or if it's available yet, but like always, I'll make sure to put those links when they finally go up into my Instagram story. And I will definitely try to cover it again once it comes in stock, especially if there's a couple other items that come out with it, which would be really cool. But just a really awesome idea. I like to see these sublines that kind of do really cool things, and this one, in my opinion, is a really cool subline to kind of get some of the artist works into plastic form that, you know, we've seen in books and stuff like that from the concept art of Masters of the Universe. So I think it's really cool. And in NECA toy news, we have a look here at what looks to be a IDW NECA collab of the Saturday Morning Adventures TMNT comic. And so we're getting a figure of a shredder-fied evil Leo that is in one of the comics where the Mikey sees like an alternate universe or parallel universe or a what-if scenario where the turtles are actually, you know, the bad guys with like shredder gear on. I don't know the full story because I don't think the comic is out yet, or it's about to be, or it has come out. But it's a really fun comic line. I think you're already quite far into it, but it's this what if the TMNT cartoon had other episodes afterwards. It's kind of like the theme it's going for. A lot of comics are coming out like that, like the Adventures Continue Batman, the animated series, where it kind of is like what would happen if the story kept going after the last episode. So this is kind of the same thing, and now we're getting a figure from that line, because this is really cool, honestly, because there's a lot of interesting characters and designs in that comic series, so to see them come to life in action figure form is really exciting. I'm hoping we'll see the other 3 turtles from that evil shredder-fied turtle group. But yeah, nothing yet on pre-orders or availability. It's just they're talking about it because the comic is coming out soon. So I just wanted to cover it here because it looked really cool. And in 3.0 toy news, if you missed out on the Starscream that came out, now is your chance to get that Starscream kind of in a way again, because they're going to be doing Coronation Starscream, which this is really cool. I, for one, like the 3.0 figures. They don't transform, of course, but they're really unique designs, and they're kind of like hefty and really well built. I have the Optimus, Megatron, and Bumblebee in the animated colors, and I know that they talked about doing more characters than that, so I'm kind of hoping they'll do the Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp in that animated kind of coloring. But if you wanted the Starscream, which I know it shows sold out at a couple of stores now, and it's a little bit harder to get, because the other 2 Seekers came out, so now people are collecting all 3. But if you want to get Starscream and you want to get him with some extra oomph, now's your chance to get him in his Coronation outfit. I believe the pieces are removable, so it is the same kind of Starscream mold, but there is, I believe, some color differences. To me, it looks a little bit shinier and like nicer, because, you know, he's glowing because he's having his glow up, where he gets to be the leader of Decepticons for what, 0.2 seconds, 0.3 seconds before he gets blasted by Galvatron. Hopefully that wasn't a spoiler for anyone, but yeah, just a really cool offering from 3.0. There is no link for it yet or pre-order for it yet, but it probably will be going up for pre-order either in December or January. That's what my fingers are crossed for, but we don't have an actual exact pre-order date or release date, but it just looks really cool, and I wanted to cover it here. And in Transformers news, specifically also Culturefly news, a company that makes a lot of interesting, you know, partnerships with companies like Hasbro to make things like this. This is a Optimus Prime Nook, is what they're calling it, licensed by Hasbro, and it is a PVC, it looks like, or not PVC, but like maybe, I don't know, ceramic. It might be plastic, I don't know the material offhand, but it looks kind of plasticky. But it is pretty much, in a sense, a book nook. So something, your book holders, so you know how you have like bookends. Well, this guy can go in the middle somewhere for like your comics or your books. So you got those Skybound comics, and you got the, you know, the trade backs where they're the 5 or comics and stuff, and you have them all lined up, and you have maybe your Matrix of Leadership bookends that you can get on each end, but you want, you know, something in the middle to kind of break up the books. Maybe you have IDW on one side and Skybound on the other. You could put this Optimus Prime in the middle, and he could be peeking out of your bookshelf, getting ready for some, you know, blasting fun, as it looks like. And it's a really cool concept. I'm really excited for it. It is a Walmart store exclusive, from what I've heard. Something you go into your Walmart stores and pick up. As of now, it might go to other stores later on, but it looks like it's just at Walmart. And you go to like the electronics zone where they have like the NECA and, you know, sometimes the SH Figure Arts and stuff like that, and you can get it there. But just like some people said in some of the pages that I was reading about this, some of the forums, they were talking about how you could, you know, alternatively, if you're a Transformers fan who collects toys, you could buy a pencil box or some kind of like shadow box item from Michaels or Hobby Lobby, paint it up and then put one of your figures in it and do the same kind of thing and not have to pay, I think it's like $25 for it, because it is $25 for it. And so a lot of people are like, I don't know, I kind of, as someone who owns figures, I can do it. But if you're someone who doesn't collect figures, then you collect the comics, or maybe you just like Transformers for the comics and TV and you don't collect toys, this is a fun little thing to have for $25 to put on your shelf. And like always, in our comic corner of comics we think look great this week, first up we have, of course, Void Rivals number 14, which is very exciting. We're seeing one of our heroes in their ship after coming back. I don't want to spoil too much of the story, but our character is pretty much sent back out after returning home to do some more missions and stuff. And as you can see here from the cover, it looks like he's being shot at in his ship by another ship, and the other ship looks kind of Cybertronian. It's got that orangish yellow color, so I'm kind of excited to see where that story will go. If you've been keeping up with the Void Rivals universe and the Energon universe in a whole, it has been really fun seeing especially the Void Rivals stuff and seeing the Transformers and G.I. Joe interact with those characters. So I'm very excited to read the next issue. And then next up we have something kind of new. It is the Justice League United, I believe, number 1, and this is a comic that takes place, of course, in I believe the main DC timeline. And it is right after Darksider has, of course, fallen, and now there is a power void in the DC universe. So Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman have to get together with the Justice League and keep things in balance. That's as much as I'm going to say about it, but it is very fun. It looks like it might be another reset for the universe of DC in a kind of way, or not so much a reset, but kind of like getting things kind of, if you want to get into the comics, now's a chance to get into this one and read stuff. And then thirdly, this one I'm very excited about. This is the Marvel Comics West Coast Avengers number 1. And I'm very excited for this comic because I'm a big West Coast Avengers fan. And this one is kind of interesting. The story is Ultron has turned a new leaf, as we know in the comics, and is being a good guy now and is trying to redeem himself. And Iron Man and War Machine want to help him out, so they put together the West Coast Avengers. And they get Spider-Woman and Firestar to kind of help them as the leads. And it looks like they're going to try to make a villains rehabilitation team where the villains kind of, like Ultron and other villains that are trying to turn a new leaf can team up and help out. And I just think that's kind of fun and interesting. I think it's kind of, a fun take on the team and having Ultron, try to be a hero and all that stuff. And I'm just very excited to kind of read through this and see where they're going to go with it. But yeah, that's the 3 comics this week I thought looked really interesting, that we thought was really interesting. So like always, go to your local comic shop, pick up your saver, see if there's any new comics that you're excited about. I know I'm excited for these 3, and have fun. And in our creative corner this week, we have a look at Art, Storms, and Feathers on Instagram. And their work is really incredible. They have lots of amazing, really cool pop art. You have here a couple pieces I picked out just because I thought they looked really cool. Was of course a Transformers Shockwave with like star constellations and all this really cool, like beautiful coloring and everything like that. And I'm a big fan of Shockwave. And then of course a Optimus Prime here with what looks like a gun Megatron, but in a really cool design. It doesn't look like his usual one. And they're really amazing. I think, if I remember correctly, they use Posca, I think is how you say it. Those markers that are really cool, that are really vibrant and colorful. So they sketch it, and then they do the Posca markers. Just really amazing work. They actually even have a video on their Instagram where they give a step-by-step of what they do for commissions and the kind of cool work they work on. And then there's 2 other images here that I thought looked really cool. First up is this donut dragon. It's a dragon who looks like a donut, and it's kind of spiraled, so it looks even more like a donut, and I thought it looked really cool. And then a picture of the main hero from the Arcane series on Netflix, which just was really pretty and pop. But yeah, their work is incredible. They've only got a couple of, I think they only have about 30 posts, maybe less or more, I don't know. You can see it here, of course. And then not as many followers as I feel like they should for someone who's really excelled over the years and made really cool work. They even have a little joke video of their piece from 2017 compared to the piece that they currently did of Bumblebee, which I love that one. It looks amazing. But yeah, definitely give them a follow, give them some little hearts, love on their post, the likes, and share it if you can, their work, share their work around Instagram or anywhere else if you think it's amazing. I really like it. And that's our Creative Corner Spotlight this week. Thank you so much for watching. And that about wraps it up. Thanks for stopping by. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section. If you're feeling generous, share it. And thank you so much for watching. Till next time, bye.